Well, 7:28 right now here on WCNC. This week, the South Carolina Supreme Court overturned the double murder conviction of Alec Murdaugh. 3 years ago, he was convicted of killing his wife Maggie and son Paul. It's a case that drew national attention. Joining us this morning, his defense attorney, Dick Harpootlian, a man known well across the state of South Carolina. Dick, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you taking time on what's been a busy week for you.
It's after Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock when the Supreme Court published that opinion. It has been a whirlwind. Was in New York yesterday doing several national shows and came back last night, and I'm now doing some Zoom with people like you and several TV interviews today answering the same question. Is Alec Murdaugh going to trial, or is he going to try to work out some deal? Let me make this clear at the front end. We've talked to Alec. He's never, ever indicated that he was anything but innocent, and this will be a trial.
And do you feel like this time around that you can get, given how well known this case is by not only folks, in the Low Country and in South Carolina, but really honestly across the country, do you feel like you can get a fair trial?
Well, we're going to have to be very cautious on picking this jury. Hopefully, we'll be able to convince the judge to allow the attorneys in this case, prosecution and defense, to do what's called voir dire, that is, question the jurors individually. We're not allowed to do that by statute, only in death penalty cases. So I think because of the publicity, because of how well known and renowned in this case is, I think it's important we be able to get individual examination of jurors to see if they are in fact able to be fair and impartial. Of course, this first verdict was the result of a fixed jury fixed by the clerk of court, which is, I've been doing this half a century, and I've never seen anything. I've talked to my friends across the country. They've never heard of such a thing.
Now, the South Carolina Attorney General did say it's going to be in the same jurisdiction. That's what he wants. And he said he wants this done really quickly, perhaps by the end of this year, this trial. What are your thoughts on that? You guys ready for that?
Well, two things. One, Alan Wilson, maybe he doesn't know because I think this is the first case he's tried in 20 years as Attorney General. Maybe he doesn't know. But I noticed that his experienced lawyer, his appellate lawyer yesterday, was not saying they were going to try it by the end of the year. We don't even have a judge appointed yet. Alan Wilson's running for governor. The primary is like 3 weeks from Tuesday. He's making a political analysis and judgment, not a legal one. There's no way this case gets tried this year, given all that has to be done. We got to serve discovery requests again, make sure we have everything up to date. We have, and you'll hear a little bit more about that later on, but we have additional evidence we've uncovered. Once we got to get, until a judge is appointed, we can't get subpoena power to begin subpoenaing records that would assist us in developing the defense. That takes time. You serve a subpoena. In many instances, they have 30 days to respond to that, sometimes 10. If they don't respond or if they fight it, we have to have hearings on that. I mean, it's just ludicrous to think that we're going to try this thing before the end of the year. And Alec, by the way, he wants that trial. And we all want it. And if we could possibly do it in a competent way by the end of the year, I'd do it. But we're not running from anything. We're not going to accede to these political the political hyperbole of the Attorney General, would-be governor, in press conferences.
You referenced it a bit right there, but you had the benefit of having gone through this before, the same case, the same trial. Do you plan to approach it differently this time?
Oh, there's all kinds of things we will do. Let me just give you a simple example. Virtually everybody they would call in a second trial testified in the first trial. We have a transcript of their testimony. For appellate purposes, we read the transcript, but only those portions of the transcript that would impact an appellate decision, and an appellate decision examination. We got to go back, reread all their testimony, dissect it, mark it up, come up with outlines. I mean, case took 6 weeks to try. It's going to take many times that to go through the testimony and decide what. And by the way, if they testify to something differently than they did in the first trial, I mean, that is just for a defense attorney on cross-examination, manna from heaven.
You know, when you did receive this from the Supreme Court, what was Alex, you know, was he relieved about this? Are you guys relieved? What was the sense in the room?
Well, we had to do it by phone because he's in prison a couple hours away. So I couldn't see his reaction, but I heard his reaction. You know, back several months ago when we argued before the Supreme Court on these issues, we thought their questions of us and their questions of the prosecution were very favorable for us, and we didn't believe that that the Attorney General, answered those questions in a way that put their concerns to rest. And so we felt good about that, and we talked to Alec by phone, of course, and his response is, you know, no decision in this case from the beginning, from the first day until now, has gone my way. I don't expect to win this. I'm not going to get myself optimistic about it because I'll lose it again, and maybe you'll have to go to federal court. But we're not going to get justice in South Carolina. And so when we talked to him yesterday, he was still incredulous. He said, "I don't believe it. I've read it, and I still don't believe it." And we said, "Alex, it's this reality now. This court followed the rule of law. The South Carolina Supreme Court may be an anomaly in this country where the rule of law is getting thrown out the window every 2 days. But here in South Carolina, the rule of law is alive and well, and this Supreme Court should be commended for it." And Alec, I think, was just incredulous, and it's still sinking into him. And we're going to probably meet with him next week or the week after in person and talk about what we need to do going forward.
All right. The whole country and, of course, across the Carolinas, folks will be watching. Dick Harpootlian. Dick, thanks for coming on and taking time. We appreciate it.
Well, I went to East Mecklenburg High School. Go Eagles.
There you go. That's what we like to hear. We like to hear it. That clearly explains your fine education.
Yeah.
All right, Dick, thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Take care. We're back after this right here inside the WCNC app.